Hello and welcome to another Betfred Sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, we're going to delve right into the weekend's action and we'll start in the Premier League because Manchester City went to Wolves, cruised to a 3-0 win, and it was that man Erling Haaland once again. He's now scored 11 goals in 7 Premier League games. Peter is on fire.
Certainly on fire, and he's odds on to win the Golden Boot for next year. He was odds on before he even scored 1 goal, so you can imagine what it's like now. Harry Kane is 9-4 to score for England against Italy at the San Siro on Friday. But going back to the Premier League, City are now 3-10 favourites. Liverpool, I was surprised they're still setting favourites because they've had a stop-start to the season. They're 8-1 second favourites. Arsenal and Tottenham, Arsenal top again. They're 10-1, same as Tottenham. They're 10-1. They're on song, aren't they? With that tremendous victory against Leicester. United, well, they're still there or thereabouts. They're 25-1, and Chelsea drifting out to 40-1 now for the Premier League title.
I've got to admit, I'm a little bit surprised with Arsenal. 10-1, top of the table, only lost 1 game all season. You know, I thought they'd be up there with the favourites.
Well, I thought they'd be second favourites when I checked with the traders this morning, but must all be Liverpool fans, with us being based in Warrington. But Liverpool are still in there 8-1. The feeling is, amongst them when I quiz them on that very point, is that they've had a bad start, but they will come good. And they're probably right in that. I can see them having a top 4 finish and, without any doubt at all. Arsenal, well, they haven't actually done it in the past, and there's always a suspect about the strength of the squad with Arsenal.
Absolutely, but Mikel Arteta side are top of the Premier League after a 3-0 win at Brentford on Sunday. Gabriel Jesus on the score sheet. Peter, is he the missing piece for Arsenal?
Well, it's looking that way. I wasn't a great fan of his at Manchester City, but there again, that was how City played. Very predictable in terms of their attacking, and then playing it through across the 6-yard box and someone taps it in. Well, he wasn't that man, but Haaland is. Also, Jesus hasn't made the Brazil squad, which is a bit of a surprise for their friendlies now before the World Cup, of which they're favourites. So he is. Sometimes a player suits the style of play of the team, and that's certainly the case with Jesus.
Yep, absolutely. And just speaking of goal scorers, Harry Kane on the score sheet for Tottenham on Saturday in that 6-2 thrashing of Leicester City. He is now second favourite to become the top goal scorer this season. As Peter said before, he's priced at 15-2, but very quickly, Peter, Leicester City is the pressure now mounting on Brendan Rodgers, rooted to the foot of the table.
It is, but he's got quite a lot in the bank, hasn't he? He's had top 4 or 5 finishes for many seasons. It's kind of not his fault, but then again, very often isn't the fault of the manager, but they take the rap. A lot of it's to do with the owners, and King Power, and COVID affected the King Power, as many people know, is a duty-free company. And during COVID, when people weren't flying, the sales went to virtually nothing. So you can see how those cash flow problems there, and that's affecting the Leicester's ability to recruit. A lot of the players and the star players are getting on in footballing terms, so he did need to refresh that squad, and he wasn't able to. And Schmeichel's departure hasn't helped either.
No.
He was a very influential player in the dressing room, and he's gone off to France now, and he looks like he's been missed amongst that group of players. But I do see Leicester coming back. They've had a bad start, but they've played against some tough teams.
Absolutely. Well, the goalkeeping department at Leicester City is very suspect. Brendan Rodgers under huge pressure now. Can he turn it around, or will he be sacked? Only time will tell. But just sticking with football for the moment before we move into the Nations League fixture between England and Italy. On Friday night, we had some action in the National League at the weekend, and John Sheridan ended his spell in charge of Oldham Athletic with a 3-2 win, and that came courtesy of Charlie Wellens' 89th minute strike. Peter, a great send-off for him as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised he's going, actually, because he's a sort of inspirational figure who could get them back out and back into the league. So there must be something behind the scenes going on there, because he's a good manager, and it's astonishing really that he's not going to be leading them back into the league, which is where they basically deserve to be.
Yeah.
So it could be that they're changing the way the number of players they've got. It could be an argument behind the scenes. We just don't really know. But I am surprised that he's left at this stage of the season when they're doing kind of okay in that league. They're mid-table, aren't they? So you'd expect them to be up there in those strange playoff situations that occur at the end of the National League.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully the new man to come in charge of Oldham Athletic can reverse their fortunes and they can return to the Football League. And very quickly on Saturday, we had some FA Cup action locally. Curzon Ashton beat FC United 3-2, whilst Hyde United beat Warrington Town 1-0. So both those sides have progressed to the FA Cup third qualifying round. And of course, as a bonus, they've also pocketed quite a big prize fund as well. So congratulations to them. Well, we're going to move now into the Nations League fixture, as we alluded to before. England travel to the San Siro to take on Italy. Peter, what are the odds looking like?
Well, England, again, a little surprise here, are favourites at 6-4 with Betfred to go on and win that game. Harry Kane, as I mentioned earlier, is 9-2 to score the first goal. Ivan Toney, what an advert he is to up-and-coming young players, not to take it when you're released by a top club like he was at Newcastle, but to go down, and then battle back, which he's done tremendously well now. To play for England at 26 years of age is fantastic. Anyway, he's 11-2 to score the first goal with Betfred. Tammy Abrahams, now he's gone out of the limelight because he's playing in Italy now. Yeah. And it just shows that you don't hear so much about him because he's in Italy, but he's playing brilliantly there. He's 6-1 to score the first goal on Friday night at the San Siro. More locally, we've got Foden 10-1. Grealish, he's having a bad time of it in some people's eyes, 12-1. And then the big one, Harry Maguire is 28-1 to score the first goal for England at the San Siro. And that is a really good bet because he does get on the end of some of them corners.
Well, he seems a completely different player from when he plays for United.
Oh, yeah. So, Betfred have him at 28-1 to score the first goal. Italy, 12-8 to beat England on the day.
Excellent stuff. Well, as Peter just said then, if you fancy Ivan Toney on his England debut to score the first goal, he's priced at 11-2. And of course, the Nations League comes in for a bit of flack, but still, it's something to look forward to. Well, we're going to move now into the Betfred Super League because we've found out who the finalists are for the grand final at Old Trafford this coming Saturday. And of course, as we mentioned last week, we have 5 pairs of tickets to give away for that clash. It's between St Helens and the Leeds Rhinos. And if you do want to enter the competition, further details will be confirmed and announced on our social media pages later today. But Peter, just looking at this clash, Saints v Leeds, gonna be a cracker.
Well, it is. I was at the Saints Salford semi-final on Saturday, and I thought that Saints really had to dig deep to go and win that game. Where Salford showed fantastic battling qualities, even though they were behind. They got within 1 point in the second half of beating the odds effectively and going through. But Saints have got that fantastic quality and confidence. They always say you should never write off the Saints, and that's what happened on Saturday. So they're in the final against Leeds. Leeds are without Aidan Caesar, who is their supreme playmaking Australian halfback. He failed the head injury protocol after a tough tackle from John Bateman, the Wigan player. And so in their semi-final, and they just about, well, they didn't just about, they basically beat Wigan well. So Caesar's out, and that will help Saints again in this final. So Saints are going for 4 grand final wins on the bounce, which is a tremendous record. And Betfred have Saints 1-2 to go and do just that. Leeds 7-4. For the first try, we've got Tommy Makerson 8-1. Joe Batchelor, he scored 2 tries at the weekend against Salford. He's 14-1 to get the first. James Roby, the inspirational Saints skipper, of course, he's 25-1 with Betfred to score the first try. Of the Leeds players, Tommy Briscoe's 14 to 1, Zach Hardacre 20 to 1, and Blake Austin, he's also 20 to 1. He was formerly at Warrington and he's playing brilliantly for Leeds at the moment. So it's all set up for a brilliant War of the Roses battle.
Yep, it absolutely is. And just to recap, we do have 5 pairs of tickets to give away for the clash between Saints and Leeds Rhinos. Of course, it's taking place at Manchester United's Old Trafford this coming Saturday. Well, just finally, we've got a big winner this week at Betfred. Peter, one guy scooped £100 from a £1 bet on Bonus King Bingo. Lucky him.
Yeah, well, I spoke to him over the weekend, and he's a Romanian fella. Went in our shop in Northampton, and he picked his numbers. They're all based around family, dates, as many people do pick the numbers in that way. So he picks his 6 numbers, and then he goes to the toilet. He's in there about, less than a minute. By the time he comes out, he's won £100,000 because these 6 numbers came straight out. So we could say, if we were really being clever, that what a great way to spend a penny.
There we go. That's why he's paid the big bucks.
Yeah, so he's flush with success as well, isn't he?
Excellent stuff. Well, congratulations to him. It's a big win. And as you always say on these Betfred Sports Talk videos, you have to be in it to win it. So, just to recap, we have got the big one this coming Saturday. It's the grand final between St Helens and Leeds Rhinos. On Friday night, we've got the Nations League fixture between Italy and England at the San Siro. And of course, there's plenty more sport to look forward to over the coming days. And if you do fancy a punt on any of the sport or any of the markets, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online via their app.